All right, guys. Today I'm going to share a very personal story with you. It's going to be a little bit different than the past couple of videos I've done. This one right here is going to be something that I truly walked through. I lived it, and I'm gonna share it with you in a way to, no matter what job you're currently at right now, it does not matter. It really, the amount of money you make means nothing. Okay, this will help any person who tries it. If you will do it, I promise you, you will notice a huge gain in your life, and you will be able to dig out of just about any situation. So here's the problem with what you have going on currently. If this touches your heart, you are probably living paycheck to paycheck, dealing with issues, always struggling and stressing about money. Money, 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 money. Money makes you fight with your kids. Money makes you fight with your spouse. Money makes you fight with your family. 90% of the time, it's money. Money makes you give away all your time, sacrifice your health to have more money. And then later on, well, ironically, which all this money you've made, you sacrificed your health. Later on, you're going to spend all that money trying to fix your health. And that's a vicious chain. So I'm going to go back to when I was very young, starting out on my own, early on in my life. Uh, me and my wife at the time, we were both working dead end jobs. She was waitressing, going to her first couple of years of community college, and I was working at an adhesives job, making glue in Lynchburg, Virginia. And let me tell you, that job would kill your soul. But anyway, that's besides the point. So I can't remember, it was an unexpected bill. You will adjust your lifestyle to live by your paycheck, and we had an unexpected bill which hit us really hard. It was a very important bill. Might have been something to do with the car at the time. I can't remember the bill. I just remember what we did. We had to take one of those payday loans. Worst decision of our entire lives by far. It's so hard to get out from under them because they charge so much money. Basically, what happens is you get caught in a cycle where you're taking one every week. That's what they want because they're making now, anywhere from $200 to $400 on you, depending on the amount that you took. So you can't get out from under them. So it was almost tax time, and we were struggling bad, and we were feeling it. And we were sitting there one day, and sure enough, opening the mailbox, here comes the light bill. And at that time, we're living in a single wide trailer, real old, real drafty. So the light bill was, $250. That's an expensive light bill for such a small place. And we go, man, wouldn't it be just amazing to not have a light bill every month? Just, free electricity. And so the idea was seeded right there, but we didn't quite know it yet. So every year before that, I had a child already, and my wife got with me even though I already had a child, and she basically took her as her own. But what we did at that point is we're both working dead end jobs, so we qualified for earned income tax credit. So, that was $2,547. I don't think I'll ever forget that number for my entire life. That's how much you got for one child making under a certain amount from the government. Well, we would take that money, previous to that year, and we would blow it. We'd go buy something. And that's what 99.9% of Americans do. They use their tax check to go out and purchase something. That's just the way it is. Well, that year, I don't know if it was her idea or my idea, but it doesn't matter. The idea still came to us, and this is what we did. I think we got like 3,000 and some dollars back that year. We took that money and we sent it to the power bill. We added up exactly what our highest usage was, our highest month, and we sent them that times 12. And that was the very first year we did this. Well, now we freed up $200 every single month. So if something happened, say we, had a flat tire and we had to pay $150 for the tire, well, guess what? We were okay. We wasn't 100% okay, but what it allowed us to do is get out from under that payday loan for one. So I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I used to just feel just a massive amount of shame. I'm not ashamed anymore. So don't you be ashamed if you're under one. So that was year one. Basically, that was amazing. Now, we also claimed zero withhold at a higher single rate, even though, we were, well, we wasn't married yet, but even though we're married now, that's what I claim on every job, and I suggest you do it too. Uh, so moving on to year two, uh, she's gotten a little bit better job. She's started with a different company. I think she went to work in insurance, making $10 an hour, and I'm still laboring away at dead end jobs, and she basically applies for a sales job for me without telling me, because where I was in my life, I was very negative. And I get a phone call. We would like you to come in for an interview. And I'm like, and you are? Oh, you filled out an application with, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah. So I went into this interview, and I'll never forget this day. This was the very day that my life changed as far as what I did for a living and a career. I met a man named Gary Gray from, I think, Pennsylvania. Awesome guy. Uh, I went in, zero experience, never sold anything in my life. Always knew I was a people person. Went in, talked to Gary Gray, no experience. He says, why should I give you the job? And I probably came up with some cool little line. I don't know what I did. But he says, okay, we'll let you know. The typical, I'm not interested. Well, that lit a fire under me like you wouldn't believe. I called this man every single day. Not once, but twice. Every day. Even on Sundays. I left him voicemail after voicemail after voicemail on his phone until he called me one day, out of the blue. I didn't ever think I'd hear from him again, but I was going to call him every day until I made him get on the phone. He calls me out of the blue and says, hey, I'm going to give you a job. He says, because if you call your customers half as much as you just called me, you're going to make $1 million in sales. So now I'm in. I'm selling tractor trailers at the time. And I go in, and I know nothing. I know less than nothing. And I start to learn. Month one, I don't make that much money. Month two, I make like $3,000. Still not that much money. Month three is when it just clicked. I sold a bunch of vehicles, or a bunch of trucks, and it absolutely went nuts. My take-home pay after claiming zero and single, even though now I'm married, I think I brought home $8,000. And you have no idea what kind of feeling that is, to have your take-home pay be that much when you came from what I did. Some of you out there might be making $12,000 a month now after taxes. I don't know, and good for you if you are. So anyway, now this, between the advancement in her job, my job, we now don't get earned income tax credit, but thank goodness we had still filed zero. So we ended up getting back enough money to do this cycle again. But what we noticed is that every single year we were able to pay off more of those monthly bills. Don't pay a car note. Don't go into a bank and say, here's my whole tax check. Here's my $5,000. I'm going to pay this on my car. Because that doesn't matter. Next month on the 1st, they're going to want their car payment again if you didn't pay it off. Pay the stuff that occurs every month. And people say, well, you can't do that. You can't send the light company this much money. Yes, you can. You can do it. And they send you a bill every month, and it just shows that you have a credit. Now, every financial person out there, every broker, everybody who's into taxes, every accountant, they're going to tell you don't do this. Of course they don't want you to do this. Their business is you keeping your money in the bank because it's there, it's accessible, you're going to go withdraw it, you're going to spend it, and then you're not going to have it. And they say, well, you're just letting them get a interest loan on your money. Well, guess what? You want to know what peace of mind feels like? peace of mind feels like having 5 uncashed paychecks in the console of your old ratty crappy Mustang. Okay, that is what peace of mind feels like, knowing that you haven't cashed a paycheck in 5 weeks. Okay, that is what it feels like. So don't listen to these people. You go and you try this. Just try it this year. We're getting close to tax time now. You try it. You're gonna get, if you get earned income tax credit, I want you to take that money and start with just the light bill, and start with, your cell phone bill or your internet bill. Start with something that takes money from you every month. Start small. And then you're going to start to notice what I'm talking about. And then eventually you can even work out of any hole at some ratty, dead end job that you don't even like. Okay, so just try that, and let me know what you think. Let me know if this helped you in any way, shape, or form. Uh, I do appreciate it, and as always, guys, keep trying, keep your head up, and never stop pushing forward. Thank you.